What's up guys, it's Zyger here, and Konami finally released the Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune and Dunon Unification Wars. I've been playing this thing and playing this thing and playing this thing, so I couldn't wait to bring you guys a video on it. In this video I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about this game, tell you what's great about it, maybe some of the things that aren't so great, and especially cover the new changes that make it this new package. So before I do that though, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in a comment down below what you like most about the Suikoden series and if you've been playing this game. Now when I first started playing this collection and decided to make this video, I knew the first thing I had to say about it was I was so happy about how they retained the original sprites for every single character. A lot of the RPG remakes we've seen in the past, like say Grandia, used weird filters that tried to modernize the game and make it disconnected from its nostalgic past, so I just really appreciate how Konami retained the original sprites. They're nice, beautiful, blocky, exactly what we remember, and they really bring back those moments from the past. And you'll see in Suikoden 2 especially, the animations that happen with the sprites that are kind of specific to key storyline elements just really look like we remember from back in the day, so I really have to commend the game for that. And speaking of the graphics in general, there are a lot of places in the game where they enhance the backgrounds via HD 2D environmental effects, and I thought this was so cool. The water looks great, kind of the fog, the smoke during war, it all looks really good and it doesn't really detract from the original experience we had. They didn't reinvent the wheel, they just enhanced what was already a good thing, and I think this is a really good feature in the game. Now let's talk quality of life enhancements, because these two games came out in the 90s, and a lot of the modernized features that we enjoy about retro RPGs weren't available back then. And the first one that really jumped out at me when I first started playing this game is the 8-way diagonal movement system. So instead of in the original two games where you could only move up, left, down, or right, you're able to move in diagonal directions. And you know, this is implemented in a similar way as it was in the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. I know some people may not like that, but it just made the game a lot more convenient. It's a lot more modernized, easy to move around. Again, I don't think this detracted from the original experience. You'll still have the Suikoden and Suikoden 2 that you know and love. The other thing too is that you have an auto dash feature enabled. In the original two games, you used to have special items to be able to dash by default, such as in the first Suikoden game, you needed the Holy Rune. But in Suikoden 1 and 2, you're able to dash from the start. This is a big convenience too, because some of the areas are big, and you want to just get through them quick as possible, and this is a great way to do it. Really good enhancement as well. There's also a lot of more minor adjustments, like an autosave functionality that actually automatically saves the game when you enter certain locations and inns and things like that. There's also a conversation log, so if you're following the story, you can go back to what key characters have said as clues about where to go next. There is also 3 different difficulty options. There's easy, normal, and hard. I just went with normal, and I think that normal is just the way that the game originally was at its release. Let me know differently in the comments if you think I'm wrong about this, but it's a way to tweak the game to your liking and really the player's skill level. Really good thing they added here that they also added in the Dragon Quest III remake, which I really appreciated, so another good change there. They did tweak the inventory management system a little bit, and this is something that a lot of fans, including myself, really wanted to see, because originally in the game it operated a lot like the Dragon Quest games. Each individual character only had a certain limited number of inventory slots, and it was a bit frustrating to move them around. Well, in this one you can actually equip armor from other characters, but unfortunately you are limited in some way, because when you're transferring items around you can't see how full anyone else's inventory is. So I was reading on Reddit, one person said they thought that this felt like 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and I kind of have to agree. I think they could have done a little bit better here. Konami added both an auto battle and a speed up option in the battles, which is a big godsend. It really takes a lot of the frustration of the time spent grinding that a lot of RPG fans have, and you do have to select each of those options in every single battle, but you can remove them at any point during the battle, so that's nice convenience too. The only downside to the speed up option, and I think it's a pretty big drawback, is the fact that by choosing it, you also speed up the corresponding battle music at the same time as the battles themselves, and this is just a big annoyance. Why do you need to listen to the music playing quicker while you're doing that? I didn't like that at all, and I think this was a big mistake, so let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with me. And now we come to what I consider the very best alteration of the Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster package, and that is a reworked localization. So when Suikoden 1 and 2 came out, they did have subpar translations in some ways, and they certainly had their charm, and don't get me wrong, I loved it, but there was odd phrasing at times, weird punctuation, inconsistencies in some of the dialogue, and really this version reworks it, but it did it so well because it struck a balance between retaining some of the original kind of quotes from characters that you know and love, but really just made changes to fix the mistakes. They didn't rewrite the entire transcript. Again, they didn't revamp everything. They didn't reinvent the wheel with this, but they made the localization so much better. And I had so much more fun experiencing these moments again with a more concise, succinct, and really accurate translation that took from a lot of the original Japanese and made it so much better. And as far as Suikoden and Suikoden 2 themselves, well, I've covered what I think about those games in other videos, but I can't miss another opportunity to gush about them, because they really are two of the best RPGs from that era. They really define what it means to be a complete, airtight, high-quality game. Both of them do. And it goes from their storylines, amazing characters, the castle building. You're collecting 108 Stars of Destiny, which is 108 characters in both games. They had the innovative option of transferring your save data from 1 to 2, which really wasn't done in any other game I really recall from that time. You had the army battles, the huge battles where you're vying against enemy powers, the one-on-one duels. A lot of these things were super innovative that weren't really done in other RPGs. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the awesome soundtracks. These soundtracks are packed full of awesome tunes, super memorable. I guarantee if you liked these games back then and you play them again now, you'll really be struck by how awesome the sound is again. You'll remember it the instant you see it. And I'd also be, undercovering these two games if I didn't mention how good the story, especially of the second game, is. The second Suikoden game really uses a lot of interesting storyline dynamics, and notably in my mind is the use of kind of dual protagonists, Joey and Ryu, and how their paths differ in terms of their strategy to change the world for the better, but when you look at either of their perspectives, they both are trying to do right. And I've just always thought that's such a cool dynamic about Suikoden 2 that really set it apart from other games of that time, which used a lot of common tropes like setting the main character against an evil empire, and that would be about as complex as it got in a lot of games. And while we're talking about the story and the graphics and just the experience in general, Konami really packed a lot of things into this game that really make it much more enjoyable than I ever expected. For instance, the combat spell effects are so much better, and they look just really well done, but not outside of the realm of what you could expect from a retro RPG. There's also a mini-map that is well done and very convenient for you to move from place to place. That wasn't in the original game, that's in this one too. And the songs just sound so good. They have been remastered, it sounds like. They haven't been re-recorded like, say, the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, but they sound like the original sounds remastered. And this is a choice that some people might like and some people might not. I probably would have preferred like a newly recorded orchestrated ones, but I know some people may disagree with me on that. But either way, very well done. I really enjoyed the sound and the music out of this one. So in summary, I really like the Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster package. I think Konami did a really good job on this. There are a few small annoyances that kind of detract from the gameplay, especially the speed up mode and how it makes the music quicker, and the inventory is not as good as it maybe could have been, but those things are outweighed by so many good things. Like I said, the music, the graphics, the pixels look great, and the new character portraits. The character portraits were redrawn, and they look really spectacular in my mind. They used the original kind of portraits as a basis and just made them look neater and tightened them up a bit. I think that was a good choice. So I think this is a great game. It's definitely worth buying. It's $49.99 on Steam. I think that's a pretty reasonable deal considering these are two of the best PlayStation era RPGs, and there's been enough added to this that make it worth it to me. So I say go buy it. So there you have it. In my mind, awesome remaster, maybe one of the best RPG remasters we've seen yet. A lot of great choices went into this one, and it truly makes it a nostalgic, awesome experience from Suikoden's past. So that's my take, but I want to hear yours. So does your opinion differ than mine at all? Do you like it less or more than I do? Let me know in a comment below. And until the next time, I'll see you later.